got him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. Purdy on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Saints will have the football back. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, Winston. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Nick Bosa in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Back near his own goal line, Winston. He is going to find Hill here. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Kamara try the right side. Talanoa Hufanga in on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Again, it's Kamara. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
4th down, Winston. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And he gets it down to the 32. 40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action now, Winston. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another try after the first down sack. Winston under pressure. They got him again. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. If you want a lesson on how to defeat an offensive tackle, that was pretty textbook.
Is that a clip and save? That's what's going to go around the league, and people are going to watch that and say, my goodness, that's how you do it? And I feel awful for the offensive tackle because we always talk about...
And Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are going to take over at their own 41. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game. The defenders certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Purdy. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Purdy's throw taken in by Samuel. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Purdy will look to throw again here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to have it here at their own 15. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great late?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football.
So the first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Throwing again on 2nd down. Purdy throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jennings. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The final shot before break. Purdy. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 40-yard line. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now Purdy. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. On 4th down, here's Purdy. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the 49ers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Gold with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand-new ball game, all tied here in the 3rd as they have their first possession of this 2nd half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. The throwing here, Purdy. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. He'll start with a give to Kamara. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play fake. Winston. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
On 3rd down, Winston. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL.
And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Brandon Ayuk from 17 yards out. And the Niners have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now Winston. That's going to be caught downfield by Hill. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. But he will not get in. The defense stands tall, and they will hold on to their 1-point lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. And And this is going to be incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown the last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. A solid 12-yard return after the 55-yard punt. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A give to Kamara running right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Oh, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Purdy now to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to get the lead up to 4. The kick by Gold is good, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And the Niners have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Another run with McCaffrey on second down. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So the victory here for San Francisco. Well, Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost this game because they turned the ball over 4 times, and that was just too much for them to overcome.
And that number might as well be in neon because you're exactly right. It just jumps up from the stat sheet. Your eyes go right to it. And with that many turnovers, they really played themselves out of this game. Too careless with the football too many times. That cost them the victory.